Life has an amazing way of disguising its deepest lessons in the form of the greatest challenges. The truths that hurt the most often are the ones that heal us, liberate us, and ultimately lead to happiness. But to be honest, most people prefer to dress up their reality rather than face it head on. And who can blame them? It's easier to float through life believing in comforting, half-truths than to stare raw, unfiltered reality straight in the face. Here you are, ready to take that bold step. Or not. Ask yourself, are you truly happy? Or is there a quiet dissatisfaction that life isn't what you imagined it to be? We go through life hiding our discontent under layers of distractions. But deep down, we know something is wrong. The problem is not the world or the people around you. It's the way you were taught to think. Happiness doesn't come from avoiding hard truths. It comes from embracing them. So let's strip away the illusions. No fluff, no frills, just the raw truths that will set you free if you are brave enough to accept them. These truths are not easy to accept. They will demand something of you. But if you embrace them, they will become the foundation of a well-lived life. You are not that important. Take a deep breath and let this sink in. The universe does not revolve around you. For some, this is a liberating realization. For others, it's a gut punch. Society feeds us a constant diet of self-importance, telling us we are special, unique, and destined for greatness. But the truth is that most of us are just ordinary, and that's okay. Your coworker isn't obsessing over the typo in your email. Your neighbor doesn't notice how you struggle with the trash every Monday morning. People are far too consumed with their own lives to pay much attention to yours. Now, before your ego demands a refund for these words, let me explain. This doesn't mean your life lacks value or that your actions don't matter. It simply means that people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. Everyone is wrapped up in their own dramas, insecurities, and inner monologues. The coworker you were sure hated your presentation is too busy worrying about their own performance. The stranger you tripped in front of last week forgot about you the moment they walked away. The weight of believing you are the center of everyone's attention is exhausting, isn't it? Imagine freeing yourself from that burden. When you realize how little people think about you, it's not a dismissal of your worth, but an invitation to live authentically. You are free to fail, take risks, and be unapologetically yourself, because the world isn't judging you as harshly as you think. And the best part, when you stop trying to be important to everyone, you make room for the relationships and pursuits that truly matter. Ironically, this is how you create a life that genuinely matters, not by demanding importance, but by living purposefully. Life isn't always fair. If life were fair, the best people would never suffer. Hard work would always be rewarded, and the good guys would always win. But life isn't interested in playing by your rules. It operates on its own terms, indifferent to your plans, expectations, or sense of justice. Fairness is a concept we cling to as children. We are told that good behavior brings rewards and bad behavior brings consequences. But then we grow up and discover that life doesn't operate by playground rules. The hardworking employee doesn't always get the promotion. The kindest person in the room isn't immune to heartbreak. And the most deserving dreams sometimes go unfulfilled. Remember that time you poured your heart into something, only to see someone less qualified get the reward. It stings, it's tough to accept, but fairness isn't life's currency. Adaptability is. The sooner you let go of the idea that life owes you fairness, the sooner you can focus on what you can control. So what do you do when life deals you an unfair hand? You adapt, you pivot, you move forward. Not because it's easy, but because wallowing in resentment changes nothing. Picture a chessboard. Sometimes the pieces are stacked against you, and the odds feel insurmountable. But the best players don't waste time complaining. They strategize, look for the next move, no matter how small, and take it. Picture a storm hitting, uprooting everything in its path. Do you stand there yelling at the sky, or do you start picking up the pieces? Complaining about life's unfairness is like shaking your fist at the clouds. It changes nothing. Instead, shift your focus. Use setbacks as fuel for growth. Resilience isn't about denying life's unfairness. It's about refusing to let it define you. When you stop expecting life to be fair, you free yourself to focus on what you can control, finding joy in the process, not just the outcome. In doing so, you discover a strength you never knew you had. Treat unfair moments as tests of your resilience, and you'll find that while life may not always be fair, it can still be beautiful. Accepting that not everyone will like you. This one might sting a little, doesn't it? You try so hard to be kind, fit in, and be likable, yet no matter what you do, some people just won't click with you. And that's perfectly fine. Compatibility isn't universal. It's selective, nuanced, and sometimes downright inexplicable. Let's be real, how many people do you like unconditionally? Probably not as many as you think. Compatibility is a rare and selective thing. It's not about you being enough or too much. It's about the intersection of personalities, values, and experiences. Trying to win everyone over is a losing battle. You'll dilute yourself into a version that isn't even authentic. And for what? To earn the approval of people who might not even matter in the grand scheme of your life. Instead of bending yourself into a pretzel to fit someone else's mold, you can focus on the people who truly value you for who you are. Relationships built on authenticity are worth more than 1,000 superficial acquaintances. So stop wasting your time on those who don't see your worth. Smile at the absurdity of trying to win over the haters and move on. Your people are out there, waiting to embrace the real you. Change is inevitable. Change doesn't knock politely at your door. It crashes through uninvited, turning your life upside down. And yet most of us resist it with every fiber of our being, clinging to the familiar, terrified of the unknown, as if stability were the ultimate goal. But here's the paradox. The only constant in life is change. The seasons shift, people grow, circumstances evolve. Resisting change doesn't stop it. It only makes the process more painful. Imagine trying to hold back a tidal wave with your bare hands. It's exhausting, isn't it? Now imagine riding the wave instead, letting it carry you to new shores. Embrace change, and you'll find it to be one of life's greatest teachers. Change forces you to grow in ways you never would have chosen for yourself. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, forcing you to adapt, grow, and discover strengths you didn't know you had. Imagine a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. Without the struggle, it can't fly. Change works the same way. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's scary, but it's also transformative. So lean into it, let it shape you into the person you're meant to become. You're not meant to stay the same. You're meant to evolve, to stretch beyond your limits, and to discover the version of yourself that's waiting on the other side of change. Happiness is a choice. Let's clear up a common misconception. Happiness isn't something that happens to you. It's not a lottery ticket, a gift, or a stroke of luck. It's a decision you make every single day, regardless of your circumstances. This doesn't mean ignoring your struggles or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing to find joy even in the midst of difficulty. It means focusing on what you have rather than what you lack. It means seeing life's imperfections, not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. Imagine two people standing in the rain. One curses the sky, angry at the inconvenience, while the other lifts their face to the clouds, marveling at the beauty of the storm. Same rain, different perspective. Happiness is like that. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to see it. This choice isn't always easy. It takes practice, discipline, and a willingness to look for the silver lining even when it's hard to find. But the more you choose happiness, the more it becomes a habit. And over time, it shapes the way you experience the world. Choosing happiness doesn't mean life will be perfect, far from it. But it does mean you'll stop waiting for the stars to align and start finding beauty in the imperfections. After all, isn't that where the magic of life truly lies? Life doesn't hand out happiness on a silver platter. It's something you create by facing its harsh truths head on. These truths may be uncomfortable, even painful, but they are also liberating. They strip away the illusions that hold you back and pave the way for a life of clarity, purpose, and joy. Are you ready to embrace them? The choice, as always, is yours.